Hi loves, happy Monday. I wanted to start using a format of Q&A Mondays, but nobody asked any questions. So a lot of people said that they were going to join me today. So you're welcome to ask questions as I speak, but I decided that since there weren't any specific topics that you wanted me to cover, I will just talk about something that I'm noticing with my own community and my own friends that are struggling with this time of year. So right now, in the midst of holidays and all the things that you're being invited to and the pressure of having friends and family over or going to places and all of those things, it's really important to have really strong boundaries. So one of my biggest recommendations is one, learning how to say no, and really having boundaries with your calendar. So it could be, and I know that it is really hard this time of year, and especially if you have a significant other that, you know, a certain event is important to them, then a certain event is important to you. But finding a happy medium is really important, and knowing when to say no. So almost setting rules and boundaries to your calendar. So let's say maybe you only say yes to one activity during the week and one activity on the weekend, or something, whatever feels good to you. I know that's what I use throughout the year, is I try to just schedule something on one day of the weekend, especially when I have my kids, because I know for our family it's really important to have one day on the weekend that is just home and just chilling out with no major expectations. And I know that some families are a little busier, but it's just something to be really mindful of, especially this time of year. And also knowing that you don't have to answer right away. So using the statement, I'll get back to you, or being really clear, I'm not sure right now if I can do that. When do you need to know by? You know, give me an RSVP time frame on when you need to know if I'm going to go to this event or not. Because you might feel like you're up for it right now, but in 5 days, you may not. So those are two really big things that I wanted to bring up around boundaries. And then also really listening to what your priorities are, because I know a lot of people that I know are feeling really stressed and really pressured on showing up to events or having people over or whatever it is, but they don't really want to. They just want to chill out and hang with their kids. And so there's all these outside pressures. So really taking that step back and saying, okay, what are my priorities? Who are my priorities? Okay, for me, it's my kids and myself. What feels good to us? And then if other people can fit into that and what that looks like for us, then that's great. But if not, then I know it can be really hard to not take on other people's energies as your own, especially this time of year with these expectations that others put on you. But the truth of the matter is that that's their stuff. If people really want to spend time with your kids or do whatever, but they're expecting you to show up at 3 places on one day, that's their stuff. They're not being reasonable with their expectations. If you need to, make the holidays the whole month instead of trying to fit 3 different families on Christmas Day. Because I know I used to do that, and it was so stressful, and I wasn't present, and I wasn't able to fully engage because I was looking at the clock and wondering, okay, when do we need to leave next, or trying to schedule it around naps and all of these things. So just really being mindful of what is important to you. And then the last thing that I want to bring up is around the gifting. So I know that can be a really big financial stress. It can get really overwhelming when you're looking and saying, oh my gosh, I need to get presents for this. And the thing is that this time of year is about spending time with people that you love. I mean, really, in the grand scheme of things, we should be able to spend that time and love each other up all year round. But this is the way that it is. So I know for my family, I have really, I am divorced, so my kids have a few different families now that they are getting gifts from and spending time with. So I've really tried to be intentional with my gifting. So I'm going with the idea behind something to read, something to that they need, something they want, and something they play. I can't remember. How does it go? Read. Anyway, it's 4 different things, and then we do PJs on Christmas Eve, and then stockings, and then something from Santa. So, but it really keeps it simple. Like yesterday, I was doing some shopping on Amazon, and it was just really simple of having those kind of themes and keeping it simple, and also making sure that the gifts are actually really meaningful versus, just whatever, stuffed animals or something that doesn't really engage them or make them grow as a person. So that's something. It doesn't have to be really fancy, or it could be, I know years ago with my parents and some other family members, we just decided that we weren't going to gift anymore, because I know that in my situation, my parents can get themselves whatever they need anytime they want. So why should I be stressing about getting them something when it's just a waste of time and a waste of money. So those are the big things around boundaries and the holidays. And then the last thing that I want to bring up is honoring your cycles. And I know this is something I'm really working on right now. So whether it's your female cycle or the seasonal cycle or the moon cycle, right now we're getting to winter. And I know I had my period last week and it was a new moon. And all of those are times in our cycles to go inward and to just be quiet. So actually, like, the holidays are the complete opposite of the spectrum of what we need to be doing. So that is my biggest thing, is just be mindful and let yourself just be, because having that time to just be is so much more valuable than the scramble. So I just want you to be mindful of that. So I hope this was helpful, and I will be back on Friday for a how-to. I'm going to be posting a poll about a topic. So it seemed like you all really liked that, and maybe I could do a how-to on Mondays too, if you would prefer that method instead of a Q&A strategy. And also, I'm doing a free group coaching call on Thursday at 12 o'clock. There's an event right here in the group. So if you want to join, there's the Zoom link there, and I will be putting the first 3 people to join or say yes that they're in and that they're going to show up. I will be giving them the hot seat, and they will be able to ask me one question, and I will coach them through it. And the other people are welcome to join and watch and see how that coaching process works. But it can be any topic that you can possibly think of: health, career, relationships, spirituality, whatever you're trying to work on. Think of a question, and I am happy to help you out with it. So have a great week, everyone.